Hello guys, welcome to Jobs Namibia. In this tutorial, we're going to be looking at a step-by-step tutorial on how you can apply for a job via email. Right, so most job seekers made a couple of mistakes whenever they are applying via email. So in this video, I'm going to show you the professional way of how you can apply for a job via email. Right, so make sure that you stick around until the end, because at the end I'm going to give you some bonus tips that you can incorporate whenever you are applying to make sure that your application is successful. So yes, let's just get started with it. So now the first thing that I want us to look at is some common mistakes that most job seekers make when they're applying for a job via email, right? So the first thing that most job mistake or the first mistake that most job seekers make is like they write job or CV only in the subject line. So in the subject line, they only write job or CV in the subject line of their email, right? So this is completely wrong. Again, we are going to be looking at how or what you should include in your subject line later on. But that's one mistake that most job seekers make. The other mistake that most job seekers make is like they send a blank email with just attachments. So what they just do is just they open an email and that is up and then they just enter the attachments and then the email doesn't even have a subject line or it doesn't even have any email in it. They don't type anything, they just attachment and then they send it. So that's another mistake that most job seekers make. The other mistakes that most job seekers make is that they name their files like my CV final three or just my CV or CV, right? So this is completely wrong. Again, we are going to be looking at how you should name your file before you send them, right? So the other mistakes that most job seekers make, sometimes they end up just forgetting to attach the documents completely. So they just send an email without even the attachment, even when the job is created and then the job update that you should include your attachments. Right. So these are just some common mistakes that most job seekers make whenever they are applying via email. Right. So now that we cover that, let's actually look at how you can actually apply via email. So what I want you to do is just open up your email, whatever you use, moment that you use Gmail, that you use Outlook, whatever you use to open your email. Likewise, when I have my Gmail open up here, so this I have just these jobs Namibia email that is opening up. So what I want you to do, just come to your compose, click on compose, right? So the moment you click on compose, it usually open up this window here for new messages, right? So what you can see here, two subject, email, body, and then the send, right? So the first thing now that you have to do is like a tool in the tool section. This is now where to add the employer's email. So the company that you are sending your email, your application to, you should go through their advert and then find the email that you want to send to, and then paste it there or write it there. Right. So in this case, they just write this random email here, info@jobsnamibia.net. So let's say that's the company where you are sending your application to. All right, so you put it in there. Then the subject, in the subject, this is now where you have to add what your email is about, right? Don't just write CV like most job seekers make or do, right? Always end. So what you can write in there, you can type up something like maybe, like let's say for, let's say application for an administrative assistant position, right? You have that, and then maybe your name, which can be John Doe, right? So application for an administrative assistant position, John Doe. So in the subject of your email should tell the employer or the person that is receiving the email what the email is about without even opening it. So that's the whole point about having the subject on your email. So you should write something regular, right? So once you now write your subject, you now move on to your email body. So again, in your email body, you have to type something in there. Doesn't need to be something big or fancy. You can type up something simple. So in the meantime, I just type up something here. Right, so I'm just going to write in there. And then obviously, let's say just write your name. It can be You just say John, so, and then maybe your number. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? So just something simple like that. Right? So you have that. So let's just say what you say, yeah, hiring manager. I hope this email finds you well. I'm writing to apply for the administrative assistant position as advertised. Please find attach my CV and cover letter for your consideration. I look forward to the opportunity to discuss my application further. Kind regards, Chonzo, and then your number. You can also add maybe your email at the bottom here. Again, it's just something to help in your email, but you don't just send an empty email, right? So you have that. Then now once you have that sorted, now you now need to attach your CV and your cover letter and your document. So what I usually advise people is like try to merge everything into one PDF file and then just set it as one PDF instead of sending multiple files. It's easier that way so the person can just open your PDF and then all your documents, CV and cover letter are all in one. Right. So if you don't know how to and you want to use that approach, we did a video where we show you how you can merge your multiple documents into one PDF file. So the link to that video will be in the description, right? So once you do that, you can now just come to attach your documents and your CV. Then I'll just come here, right? So just click on that attach file. Then it usually open up your PC or your phone, and then you just click, let's say you have this Chonzo application. So this is how you should name your file. Just click on that, and then you attach that to your file. As you can see, I've named it Chonzo Application Administrative Assistant. So you can name it, don't just name it my CV. And the reason I gave it this full name, Chonzo Application, is that in case if you just name it my CV, and then there are two people, the other person also named theirs my CV or CV. When the employer download your PC into their system, into their computer, then the new CV will override your old CV, and now your application is gone. Which is why it's always like to give your document a specific name or a unique name, just to not to risk that risk of having your application or your CV being overwritten when somebody downloads it. So that's why like on the PC you can have two documents with the same name, right? So the newer one will always override the older version. So just so you don't lose out, just give it a different name. Give it your name, application, and then administrator assistant, right? So you have that. So now once you have that sorted out, just review everything to make sure there's no spelling error, nothing, everything is sorted. Then once you do that, you just click on send, and then your application will be sent. So now, as promised, I told you at the beginning that if you watch until the end, I'm going to give you some bonus tips that will help you, and hopefully I will help you yeah, make sure that your email application is set up proper and it's professional, right? So as promised, let's just look at those tips. The first tip that I want us to look at is just like always use a professional email address, right? So keep it professional. You can write something like John Amutenya at Gmail or John Doe at Gmail, right? You can use your first name and your full name and at Gmail or whatever email application you are using, but just use a professional email, right? You don't want to use something like John Boy 2022 at Gmail or John Get It Anyway at gmail.com or John whatever funny emails that people use these days. You don't want to use any funny emails. Keep it professional, right? So you have that. Other tip that you should also use, send your application during working hours, right? Always send it during working hours if it's possible. Now, if it's not possible for you to, you can type it up and then instead of sending it, you can schedule it. So if you don't know how to schedule an email, let's say I open up, I have my email type up here, right? And then I have that. So you want to schedule it, and the whole reason that you should schedule it is like to make sure that let's say you have to apply during office hour, but sometimes not everybody have access to a computer or the internet. Sometimes you are maybe at the library or at the coffee shop and you want to just type your email, send it, right? While you have access to that. So you can just type it up and then schedule it without having to send it. Because sometimes if you send your application on a Friday morning, Most companies they receive hundreds of applications of CVs. So by Monday morning, when people get back to the office, your application will be down at the bottom of the pile. You don't want that. You want it once they open their system on Monday, it's already somewhere at the top. So that's why you should always send it on a Friday afternoon or during the weekend. So always type it up, schedule it. Now to do that, I have it type up the same way that we cover, and then instead of clicking send, you have to come to now these options here, this plus, and then you have to now click on the schedule send. But you do that, then now you have this option, so you can either set it up if or you can click on pick a date, and then you can set up your own date on when you want to schedule your application. So again, you can schedule that. Once you set up the proper date, you can now click on schedule send, and then as you can see here, it will be scheduled to the specific time that you want to send it. That's why it's advisable to just instead of sending it on a Friday or Saturday or Sunday, at least send it, schedule it, and then let it send on a Monday. So you don't even have to open your sleep or your computer or do anything. It will just send it automatically on a Monday morning. Right, so that's another thing that you can also try. Right, so that's just another tip that I want. Make sure that you send it to the working hours. Right, so the other tip that I want to send you, keep your attachment in a PDF format to prevent formatting errors. Right. So always once you type up your CV, don't send it into a Word document. Always convert it into a PDF, and then you can send it as a PDF file so that it does then look like it looks the same on all the computers. Right. And then again, if you don't know how to convert your Word document or your CV Word document into a PDF, we did another tutorial on this. So again, the link to that will be in the description. So you can watch that after this. Right, so you have that. And then now the next thing that I want us to look at, the next tips that I want to give you guys is like, if the job post give a reference number, always include it in your subject line. Right, so always go through the job advert and make sure that you understand what is required from you. Right, and if there's a reference number, make sure that you include it in the subject line. So yes, that's about it. So that's how you apply for a job by email the right way. Yeah, if you found this tutorial helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share it with friends or colleagues or anybody who might be or you feel like they can definitely be able to learn something from this. I will appreciate it, and I thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Stay safe out there.